China just made a powerful move that could shake the whole global economy. It's called the 7-piece gold and silver strategy, and it's finally live. This is not just about money, it's about global control. It's about power, influence, and a new economic world order. For years, China has been slowly buying gold behind the scenes. They've been doing it quietly through their central bank and hidden channels. Now they've revealed their full plan, and it's shocking. It includes 7 major parts, each one aimed at reducing the power of the US dollar. First, they're massively increasing their gold reserves. Second, they're buying huge amounts of silver, which is rare in global policy. Third, they're linking their digital Yuan to gold and silver, making it stronger. Fourth, they've signed secret mining deals in Africa to control precious metals. Fifth, they're pushing de-dollarization deals with other countries. Sixth, their banks are quietly stockpiling gold and silver, not just cash. Seventh, they're preparing to revalue silver inside China's economy. This strategy is like a big chess game, and China just made a bold move. Every part is designed to protect them if the global economy collapses. And it could happen sooner than people think. Gold is a safe haven, but silver is the surprise weapon here. Silver is needed for solar power, electric cars, and 5G networks. By controlling it, China isn't just protecting wealth. They're planning for the future. This plan could break the dollar's dominance in global trade. It could shake Wall Street. It could even change how everyday people save money. So the big question is, why now? What is China preparing for? Are they expecting a financial crash? Or are they ready to challenge the US openly? This is not a rumor anymore. It's happening. And it's not just about gold and silver, it's about a whole new system. In this video series, we'll explore every piece of the strategy. We'll show how it affects you, your money, and your future. This is your warning. Because when the world's second biggest economy goes all in on metals, the game is about to change forever. Let's break down the first piece of China's gold and silver strategy: massive gold accumulation. For over a decade, China has been quietly buying gold, not through big public purchases, but through shadow deals. They've used shell companies, foreign banks, and secret contracts. Much of the gold isn't even reported to the IMF. This means the real numbers are likely much higher than official data. Why hide it? Because it's part of a long game. Gold is not just shiny metal, it's power. It's a hedge against inflation. It's insurance against collapsing currencies. China knows that paper money can be printed endlessly, but gold is limited, real, and trusted worldwide. So while the West prints dollars and euros, China stacks gold silently, brick by brick. Now, they're going public with their stash. In 2023 and 2024, their gold reserves shot up, month after month. Every ton of gold they buy makes their economy stronger, and it makes the US dollar a little bit weaker. Why does this matter to you? Because when big countries shift to gold, currencies lose value. If you're saving in dollars or rupees or euros, your money could buy less. Prices may go up, stability may go down. China's goal? Simple. They want the yuan to be trusted like the dollar. But to do that, they need hard assets behind it, and gold is their foundation. This isn't theory, it's strategy. And it's already changing how central banks behave. Even countries like Turkey, Russia, and India are following China's lead. Gold is becoming the base of trust again. This is only the first piece. In the next part, we'll uncover the second piece: China's sudden obsession with silver and why it could be explosive. Most people are ignoring silver, but China isn't. They know something big is coming, and when silver moves, it moves fast. Now let's talk about the second piece of China's strategy: the silver play. While most of the world is focused on gold, China has quietly turned its eyes to silver, and they're moving fast. Silver is more than just a precious metal. It's both money and technology. It's used in solar panels, electric cars, batteries, and mobile devices. That makes it a double weapon: economic and industrial. China is the world's biggest manufacturer of solar tech. They need silver for every single panel they make. So what did they do? They started stockpiling it. Chinese state companies have been buying large amounts of silver. Domestic production is being directed to national reserves. Some mines are now restricted from exporting outside China. This means less silver for the rest of the world. Why does this matter? Because the silver supply is already tight. Unlike gold, silver is used up in products and rarely recycled. So when demand rises fast, prices can explode. China knows this. They're planning ahead, not just for money, but for technology dominance in the next 10 years. Silver is their bridge between finance and the future. There's another angle too. Silver has been called the people's money for centuries. In ancient China, silver was used in trade and savings. Now China is considering ways to reintroduce silver in its internal financial system. Reports suggest pilot programs in rural areas where silver is accepted for certain transactions. Is it a test run, a backup plan, or both? Either way, it's a huge signal. If China starts giving silver a formal role in currency, that could change how the world views silver's value. Suddenly, it's not just an industrial metal, It's money again. The silver play is bold, fast, and quietly powerful. And remember, China doesn't make loud moves. They play the long game. In the next part, we'll reveal piece number 3, how China is planning to link its digital yuan to gold and silver, a move that could shake global finance to the core. We've seen China stack gold, we've seen them stockpile silver. Now comes the third piece of the plan, linking the digital yuan to gold and silver. This is where things get serious, because now we're talking about digital money backed by real assets. Not just code, not just trust, but metal, hard, valuable, and time-tested. The digital yuan is already being used in major cities across China. Millions of people have spent it through mobile apps. But until now, it was just another form of fiat currency. That's about to change. China's central bank has hinted at new upgrades to the digital yuan. Several reports say it could soon be pegged to gold, or even silver. Imagine that, a digital currency backed by real metal. That's something the US dollar hasn't done in over 50 years. What does this mean? It means China may launch the first major digital currency with real value behind it. It won't just be fast, it will be strong, backed by metal, not just promises. Why is this powerful? Because in a crisis, people trust gold. If the yuan is tied to gold, it becomes safer than other currencies. Foreign countries may start holding digital yuan instead of dollars. This is a direct challenge to the US financial system. It weakens the petrodollar, it gives China leverage in global trade, and it sets an example for other nations to follow. Think of it like this. If you had to choose between 2 digital wallets, one with a currency that loses value and one backed by gold and silver, which one would you trust? China's move isn't just bold, it's historic. This could change how the world sees digital money forever. And remember, this is only the third piece. Next, in part 5, we'll reveal how China is locking down metal mines across Africa, quietly building supply chains the world doesn't see. It's not just a financial strategy, it's a resource war. Now we move to the fourth piece of China's gold and silver plan, securing global mining power, especially in Africa. This move isn't loud, it's not on the news, but it's happening, slowly, carefully, and strategically. Over the past 10 years, China has made massive investments across Africa, roads, bridges, ports, and railways built by Chinese companies. But those projects weren't just gifts. They were doorways to something deeper, mineral access. China now controls or influences dozens of gold and silver mines across Africa, in countries like Ghana, Sudan, Zimbabwe, and the DRC. Some of these contracts last 30 years or more, and many of them include exclusive export rights. That means gold and silver pulled from African soil go straight to Chinese vaults, not global markets. This tightens global supply and gives China long-term control over real resources. Why Africa? Because it's rich in metals, but it's also in need of investment. China offers both money and infrastructure, no political strings attached. Western countries call this debt trap diplomacy, but China calls it resource partnership. Either way, the results are clear. China is now a dominant force in global mining. This isn't just about owning mines, it's about securing supply for decades. If a crisis hits and supply chains break, China won't panic. They'll already have what they need. And there's another layer to this. Many of these mining deals are kept secret. Even satellite data doesn't show the full picture. But financial analysts are watching, and they're alarmed. As Western countries talk about green energy and future tech, China is quietly buying the metals that power it all. Gold, silver, lithium, cobalt, it's all connected. So while the world watches stock charts, China watches the ground, literally. Because whoever controls the metals controls the money, controls the future. This is not just a smart move, it's a masterstroke in economic warfare. In part 6, we'll uncover the fifth piece. China's secret de-dollarization agreements with its closest allies. What they're planning could end the US dollar's global power, and most people still have no idea. We now enter the fifth piece of China's 7-part gold and silver strategy. And this one could shake the world's financial system. It's called de-dollarization, and China is leading it. For over 70 years, the US dollar has ruled global trade. Most countries buy oil, gold, and goods using dollars, but now China wants to end that era, and they're building quiet alliances to do it. Step by step, China is signing direct currency deals with other nations. These agreements skip the dollar. They allow trade using the yuan, gold, or even bartered goods. Russia, Iran, Brazil, Saudi Arabia, even countries in Africa and Southeast Asia. All of them are now testing non-dollar trade with China. This is the beginning of a new money network. Why does this matter? Because it cuts America out of the system. The US can't sanction what it doesn't control, and it can't print money to buy what it can't access. China is building what experts call a shadow system. It runs on gold, silver, and the digital yuan. It uses Chinese banks, not SWIFT. It protects allies from US pressure. In 2023, China and Russia traded over 90% of their goods in yuan and rubles, not dollars. In 2024, more countries joined the shift quietly. And now in 2026, that system is starting to go global. What's fueling it? Trust in real assets, gold and silver. That's why China keeps buying them. Each time they sign a new deal, they're offering stability backed by metal, not politics. It's not just trade, it's resistance, and it's working. Countries under US sanctions are joining the new system. Others are doing it to reduce risk, because they see the dollar as a weapon, not just a currency. This is not a loud war, it's a silent separation, and it's growing fast. In the West, banks hold fiat currency, bonds, and paper assets. But China's top banks are moving differently. They're now storing a higher percentage of physical gold and silver, and some are even issuing loans backed by gold, not just credit. This means metal is becoming functional money again, not just a reserve. Gold isn't locked away for emergency use. It's being circulated with purpose. Banks are even teaching citizens how to save in gold and promoting gold-based savings accounts. Why would they do this? Because they expect paper currency to lose value. They're preparing for a time when trust in fiat is gone, when people will want something real, like metal they can touch. Chinese banks are also working with the government to create new digital tools backed by gold and silver. Not only does this stabilize the yuan, it creates a new kind of banking system, one that's immune to inflation. Most people haven't heard about this, but quietly, China's financial core is shifting. If other countries copy this move, we may be looking at the end of the fiat-only era. And here's the final truth. This isn't random. Every single move, every piece of this strategy has been part of a master plan, from stacking gold to controlling silver, to linking the digital yuan to metals, to buying African mines, to creating non-dollar trade deals, to turning banks into metal-backed powerhouses. This is not just a gold strategy. It's a complete transformation of monetary power. The final seventh piece, coming up in the last video, is China's most shocking step of all. A domestic silver revaluation, which could reset the value of silver overnight. If that happens, everything, investments, currencies, trade, and savings, will shift forever.